out there for long because there was yet another weather delay after they teed off.
8 shots behind and facing zero chance of winning. That's where Japan's Miyu Yamashita found herself on Sunday morning at the Maybank Championship in Malaysia. At just 24 years old, the rookie was so far back that most analysts had already written her off, assuming the trophy was destined for someone else. But over the next few hours, she rewrote LPGA history with a flawless 7-under par 65, forcing a 3-way playoff and sinking a clutch 20-foot birdie putt under immense pressure. By the end of the day, golf had a new superstar, a rookie who pulled off one of the most stunning comebacks in tour history. The scene was set at the Kuala Lumpur Golf and Country Club, where South Korea's Hyejin Choi had dominated the tournament through 3 rounds. Choi led wire to wire, entering Sunday at 19 under par with a commanding 4-stroke advantage, looking untouchable. Meanwhile, Yamashita was 8 shots back at 11 under a gap that in golf is monumental, especially on a final Sunday when leaders typically play conservatively to protect their advantage. Historically, such a comeback was nearly impossible. Since 1980, it had only occurred once before on the LPGA Tour, highlighting just how extraordinary Yamashita's achievement truly was. Most players in Yamashita's position would have treated Sunday as a practice round gone out, shot a decent score, collected a paycheck, and moved on to the next week. But Miyu had other plans. After her 3rd round on Saturday, she knew her ball striking wasn't sharp. Her shots felt off, and her rhythm was missing. While other players relaxed, she headed to the practice range and worked relentlessly. "My shots were not good after the 3rd round," she later admitted. "So I just practiced a lot." That dedication was about to pay off in the most spectacular way. Sunday morning arrived with threatening weather, storms brewing on the horizon, setting the stage for what would become one of the most remarkable comebacks in LPGA history. The leaderboard was stacked with major champions and seasoned tour veterans, each with years of experience and a reputation to protect. Yet somewhere in that mix, a rookie was quietly preparing to announce herself to the world. Nobody anticipated it, not the commentators, not the spectators, and perhaps not even Yamashita herself. But that's exactly what made her story so extraordinary. When she stepped onto the first tee on Sunday morning, there was a calm determination in her stance, a quiet focus that belied the enormity of what lay ahead. The grueling practice session the night before had fixed the mechanical issues that had plagued her game on Saturday. Her ball striking felt clean, her rhythm returned, and her putting stroke, often the difference between victory and defeat, was precise and confident. Best of all, she had nothing to lose, and that freedom allowed her to swing aggressively, play boldly, and trust her instincts. Birdie on the first hole, executed with a confident line and perfect stroke, immediately signaled that this was no ordinary round. Another birdie on the second hole followed, and the deficit began to shrink. By the 5th hole, she had added yet another birdie, bringing her within 6 shots of the lead, and showing that she wasn't just making up ground, she was charging. 3 birdies in the first 5 holes turned heads, and suddenly, the rookie was no longer an afterthought. She was a real contender. She made the turn at 3 under for the day, her momentum palpable, and the leaderboard started to feel the tremors of her charge. Meanwhile, the leader, Hyejin Choi, who had looked untouchable through 3 rounds, began to struggle. Parred holes at first did little to extend her lead, but then came the cracks, bogey after bogey, 3 and 4 holes, and what had once seemed like a comfortable cushion began to vanish. At one point on the back 9, 5 players found themselves tied for the lead. The tournament transformed into a thrilling, unpredictable showdown, and every shot carried enormous weight. The tension was electric, the stakes higher than ever, and amid the chaos, Yamashita's relentless focus and fearless play hinted that history was about to be rewritten before the eyes of the world. Why the back 9. Complete chaos had erupted at the Maybank Championship. The tournament that seemed decided on Saturday night was now wide open, and Yamashita refused to let up. She kept her foot on the gas, birdieing holes 10 and 11 back-to-back, firmly putting herself in contention. Hole 13 brought another birdie, and suddenly the impossible comeback was actually happening. By the 16th hole, she faced a critical decision. Play safe and hope for the best, or remain aggressive and take the tournament by force. True to her fearless approach, she chose aggression, sinking birdie number 7. 7 birdies, 0 bogeys, a flawless 65 on the most pressure-packed Sunday of her young career. At 18 under par, she posted the clubhouse target and waited, the tension palpable. Her missed birdie on the par 5 18th had denied her the outright lead. leaving her with nothing to do but watch the leaders finish their rounds. Yet this moment was uniquely tense because Yamashita knew she had executed her game perfectly. Any victory over her would have to be earned. Normally, golf tournaments are predictable down the stretch. Leaders protect, chasers chase, and the best rise to the top. But the Maybank Championship had other plans. Dark clouds gathered, thunder rumbled, and just as the final groups approached the back nine, officials suspended play due to lightning, forcing everyone off the course. For over an hour, players sat in the clubhouse, nerves fraying, momentum interrupted. Imagine being on the cusp of your first LPGA title and having to stew for an hour, knowing that a single bad swing when play resumes could cost you everything. Yet Yamashita handled it like a true competitor, maintaining focus while the storm and uncertainty swirled around her, ready to resume her charge the moment the course was safe again. By the back nine, complete chaos had erupted at the Maybank Championship. The tournament that had seemed decided on Saturday night was now wide open, and Yamashita refused to let up. She kept her foot on the gas, birdieing holes 10 and 11 back-to-back firmly, putting herself in contention. Hole 13 brought another birdie, and suddenly the impossible comeback was actually happening. By the 16th hole, she faced a critical decision. Play safe and hope for the best, or remain aggressive and take the tournament by force. True to her fearless approach, she chose aggression, sinking birdie number 7. 7 birdies, 0 bogeys. A flawless 65 on the most pressure-packed Sunday of her young career. At 18 under par, she posted the clubhouse target and waited, the tension palpable. Her missed birdie on the par 5 18th had denied her the outright lead, leaving her with nothing to do but watch the leaders finish their rounds. Yet this moment was uniquely tense because Yamashita knew she had executed her game perfectly. Any victory over her would have to be earned. Normally, golf tournaments are predictable down the stretch. Leaders protect, chasers chase, and the best rise to the top. But the Maybank Championship had other plans. Dark clouds gathered, thunder rumbled, and just as the final groups approached the back nine, officials suspended play due to lightning, forcing everyone off the course. For over an hour, players sat in the clubhouse, nerves fraying, momentum interrupted. Imagine being on the cusp of your first LPGA title and having to stew for an hour, knowing that a single bad swing when play resumes could cost you everything. Yet Yamashita handled it like a true veteran. She pulled out her headphones and listened to music, trying to calm her racing mind. "I just wanted to stay calm," she explained later, as the weight of the moment felt almost eternal. When play finally resumed, the drama intensified. Choi, desperately trying to salvage her tournament, made a clutch birdie on 16 to get back to 18 under. Hannah Green from Australia, a major champion and one of the tour's best players, birdied the 18th hole to also reach 18 under. 3 players, same score, headed to a sudden death playoff, something no one had expected on Sunday. Choi, who had led from day one, now faced the daunting task of winning in extra holes just to claim her first tour victory. Green, a seasoned veteran, confronted a rookie sensation in a pressure cooker. And Yamashita, the 24-year-old who started the day 8 shots back, was suddenly 1 hole away from history. The playoff was sudden death on the par 5 18th hole. 1 hole, winner takes all, for $150,000 and a trophy on the line. But as the players prepared to tee off, more rain fell, forcing another suspension. Mother Nature was testing everyone's mental strength one last time. Delays like this can destroy focus, but for Yamashita, they became an advantage. She had already proven she could handle pressure, and now she simply needed to prove it one more time. When officials finally cleared the course, 3 nervous competitors walked back to the 18th tee. The crowd packed around the hole, phones out, sensing something extraordinary was about to happen. Playoff golf is brutal. 1 mistake and you're done. 1 perfect shot and you're a champion. The par 5 18th at Kuala Lumpur Golf and Country Club played like a perfect stage for this drama. Water in play, a challenging green complex, and risk-reward opportunities everywhere. All 3 players hit solid tee shots and navigated their second shots safely, leaving birdie putts to decide the tournament. Choi went first. Her putt slid just past the hole. Green stepped up next. Her putt looked perfect, but caught the edge and stayed out. Silence fell over the crowd. All eyes turned to Yamashita. She stood over her ball, reading the line one final time. 7 birdies, 0 mistakes. She had been clutch all day. But this putt was different. This was legacy. She pulled the trigger. The ball rolled smoothly, tracked perfectly, curved slightly right, and then bang dropped dead center. Birdie. Playoff over. Tournament 1. Yamashita's reaction was pure joy. Arms raised, a smile breaking across her face, disbelief and elation mixing together. Her caddy rushed over, teammates celebrated, and the golf world collectively lost its mind. Miyu Yamashita, the rookie who started the day 8 shots behind, had just pulled off one of the most improbable comebacks in LPGA history. Replays of that clutch putt circulated instantly, social media exploded, and fans everywhere marveled at her composure and skill. Green and Choi graciously congratulated her, both disappointed but respectful, because when someone plays that well under such pressure, there's no anger, only admiration. In her victory interview, Yamashita could barely contain her emotions. "This is just unbelievable," she said, her voice shaking. "At the start of the day, I just wanted to go out and play my best game. My putting was really good today, and the birdies came." She paused, looking at the trophy, still processing what had just happened. That birdie in the playoff, I will never forget that. It was an amazing way to win. At just 24 years old, she had already proven she could win under impossible pressure, and this was only the beginning. Next week, the LPGA heads to the Japan Classic, her home country. The pressure will be immense, but if Sunday taught us anything, it's that pressure brings out the best in this young superstar. With just 2 events remaining, the Annika and the CME Group Tour Championship, Yamashita has positioned herself perfectly for a run at the season-ending title and the massive $4 million winner's prize. What began as a promising rookie season has transformed into a coronation. Miyu Yamashita isn't just competing with the world's best, she's decisively and dramatically beating them. That 20-foot birdie putt that won the Maybank Championship will be replayed for years and has already become iconic, though it may not even be the most memorable of her career. One thing is certain, Miyu Yamashita is here to stay, and the golf world will never be the same.